Today we're going to compare the Cybex Coya and the Babyzen Yoyo2, two premium-priced ultra-compacts that both, in my opinion, compete best on the wider market, primarily as travel models. So let's jump straight into it then, looking at the advantages and disadvantages of each stroller in turn, and focusing on their differences in terms of child comfort, ease of use, longevity, and driving characteristics, before ending by bringing in price and discussing which factors might make one a better purchase over the other. And starting off with the Coya, the model clocks in at 6.6 kilos and folds down to 52 by 44 by 18 centimeters. It can take 22 kilos in the seat and 5 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Coya's seat has a width of 33 centimeters and a total length for the sitting surface, meaning the backboard, baseboard, and leg rest, of 80 centimeters, while also, of course, having additional space beneath the canopy, as well as between the baseboard and footrest, sufficient for seating an older child up until around 3.5 or so. The model sports a nice, near full flat reclined position, though its upright position is a bit too sloped in my opinion. As far as other aspects of the seat go, the Coya has a removable seat liner with a large mesh window in the seat back beneath it to provide better ventilation in warmer climates. The model's canopy provides acceptable sun coverage overall, when fully extended at least, though there's unfortunately no flap to cover the mesh in the extended section. And even though the Coya does have that inbuilt leg rest, it's quite short and also mechanically weak. When it comes to parent comfort, the Coya has a non-adjustable handle height of 104.5 centimeters and a shopping basket that's acceptably weight capable for an ultra-compact, but a little fiddly to access, in particular due to the model's narrow rear frame. As far as folding is concerned, the Coya has a relatively easy to accomplish two-stage fold, resulting in a package that's both small enough to fit within the IATA's guidelines for cabin luggage and also quite flat, which, when combined with the model's shoulder strap, makes it decently comfortable to carry around under your arm, slung from the shoulder. As far as the feel of using the Coya goes, the chassis feels more substantial than a lot of ultra-compacts out there, but is a bit loose in its locking joints, in particular the central hubs right under the seat, which bend a bit side to side when steering. And the rear frame is also a little too narrow in my opinion, which makes it feel somewhat unstable, especially with older children in the reclined position. Looking at durability, the Coya's folding system has a little bit of internal complexity, though nothing I'd find particularly worrisome. And, despite being a bit loose, the chassis as a whole has decently thick bars and connection points, and other than the two specific areas of the struts for the leg rest, and the fact that the front wheels sit a bit loose in their housings, which can sometimes cause wobbling problems down the road, I wouldn't judge the Coya as necessarily weak in its basic design. Though, as a new model just released, it's always possible that unforeseen problems may show up after a year or two. As far as terrain capability is concerned, the Coya is best kept to smoother pavement and indoor environments, though it does have decently sized wheels for an ultra-compact, and even though it lacks rear frame suspension, the looseness of the lower portion of the chassis does mitigate some of the jolts from rougher ground, characteristics that allow the Coya to handle a bit of stuff like gravel, lawns, and broken sidewalks when you can't avoid such conditions. Moving on, the Yoyo is slightly lighter at 6.2 kilos, but has identical folding dimensions, 52 by 44 by 18 centimeters, as well as identical weight capacities of 22 kilos in the seat and 5 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Yoyo seat is slightly narrower at 31 centimeters, as well as a tad shorter in its sitting surface at 73, which is the result of both a somewhat shorter backboard, as well as, more importantly, the Yoyo's lack of an inbuilt leg rest. For older children, though, the total length when adding in space beneath the canopy and the distance to the footrest is roughly the same as the Coya's. When it comes to other aspects of the seat, the Yoyo's recline is not quite as deep as the Coya's, though is still decent for napping, but the upright position is more vertical. And the canopy, though not the largest out there, is roughly equally as long as the Coya's and doesn't suffer from any uncoverable mesh panels. Looking at parent comfort, the Yoyo's handle stands slightly higher at 106 centimeters, and the shopping basket is both larger and also a bit easier to access in my opinion. As far as folding is concerned, like the Coya, the Yoyo also takes a couple of steps, though it's not hard once you get used to it, and when folded, the model has a somewhat longer shoulder strap, which, combined with the same slim folded dimensions, makes it similarly comfortable to carry around slung from the shoulder. As far as how the Yo-Yo feels to use, the model is a little slighter in build than the Coya, but also feels tighter in its joints and connection points when new. And, though it can loosen a bit after a few years, in my experience, it still tends to maintain a sturdy and trustworthy feel years down the road. Looking at longevity, the Yo-Yo is designed quite simply and sturdily, with few internal mechanisms, and has already proven itself over many generations to hold up quite well over time, with the only regularly occurring problems that I've seen being a general loosening, especially when the model is used as a primary all-day stroller over varied terrain, and the need to sometimes replace the ball bearings or wheels. As far as terrain capability goes, the Yo-Yo has identically sized wheels as the Coyas, and also has that bit of rear frame suspension that the Coya lacks, and I would generally judge the model then as also being best to use on smoother pavement or indoor environments, but still as equally capable of tackling lighter rough patches when you need it to. So which of these should you get then? It's a little bit of a toss-up, though the Yoyo2 does win in my opinion for a few reasons. As, while the Coya has the advantage of slightly better seat characteristics and a somewhat chunkier and more substantial feel, which I like, the Yo-Yo has a simpler design mechanically, is far more proven in terms of longevity, costs a little less, and has far more extra kit available to buy new or secondhand to help you customize how you might want to use the model. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as this sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. If you'd like to know more about either of these models, we have standalone reviews that go into a lot more detail, and links have been added in the description. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description as well. Thank you.